everyone, this is Calvin, Professor C here. This channel is all about teaching new mortgage agent making more money faster. So I haven't have a video since a month ago, and so I hope all the viewer, you guys, I miss you guys, and I hope every one of you are healthy and everything is good. Okay, so today's topic is a very timely topic because the real estate market is finally or is starting to turn the corner. It's not like as robust as before. It's not like a rocket that going up, up and up. But I feel that in the last 2-3 weeks, the real estate market is starting to turn the corner, slowing down a little bit. So today's topic is, what should you do in this changing market? And I think it's very critical. So watch the video to the end so you learn everything. Okay, so the first thing that I think you need to realize and to tell your client is that before, it is a very strong seller market, which means there is a lot of buyers and only a few sellers. Every listing coming out has like 20 different multiple offers and all that, right? So at that time, when we want to, let's say your client want to upsize a house, right? So from selling the existing condo and move to a townhouse, for example. So at that time, at a strong seller market, usually our advice is to recommend them buy first, right? Buy your townhouse first, and then sell the condo after, right? Because if you sell the condo first, which should be easy, like 2 months ago, you can probably sell your condo in less than a week in Toronto area, but you might have a hard time buying your next townhouse. Like you might have put in multiple offer and you still lose the bid and all that stuff. So it is scary, frustrating, right? You may not have a place to live if you cannot buy the house before the condo is closing, right? So that was the advice, right? Although we are never a real estate expert, so we do the recommendation, and what would we do? We would ask our client to, go over that recommendation with their real estate agent, because they are the real estate expert. So anything related to the real estate, whether they can sell or buy and all that stuff, we can only provide an idea. But we always ask them to go back to their real estate agent to see if that recommendation is good, right? They are the final expertise on that. However, I am starting to changing my advice, and I'm starting to now tell my client, you might want to sell first and buy after you sell, to make sure that you can sell your existing condo first, right? So again, this advice is also need to kind of concur by the real estate agent. So you only provide the advice and ask them to final approved by the real estate agent, if you want to call it like that, right? But my advice to my client is, hey, Mr. Client, in your situation, I think right now you should start selling your existing condo first, and then once it is secured, once it is sold, and that it is firm sold, then you can start looking at property to buy. And this is just only my opinion, but I recommend you take this opinion and go over it with your real estate agent. Okay, that's usually my script on how to recommend my client. So that's one. Okay, summarize that is start to change your advice from buy first, sell after to sell first, buy after. So that's point number one. Point number two is in this market, beware that the appraisal value that your client new property is lower than the purchase price, right? So before, in a strong seller market, right, that already happened, right? When you buy a townhouse, let's say at $1 million, appraisal value might come back at only $950,000, right? It may not be $1 million. But what happened before is it might be $950 when you submit the appraisal, but maybe 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, or a month later, there will be another house on the same street that sells for $1.05 million. Because before, the market is going up like a rocket. So your client, let's say, bought a house at March 1st, right? And the closing is not until June 1st, right? If you do the appraisal right away on, let's say, March 4th, the appraisal value might not be $1 million. It might only be $950 because it is based on historic data. However, if you can delay your appraisal to, let's say, middle of April or May, right, it may very well be 1.05. So that's what happened before, right? That's what happened before in a strong seller market when my first appraisal is not up to the purchase price. I wait a few weeks, a month, and do another appraisal, and usually that will solve the problem. However, because now the market is changing corner, even if you wait a month or two, it might actually be even lower. The market is slowing down, right? The new appraisal value, the second appraisal report, the value come back might even be only 900,000, right? So that doesn't work anymore. So then in that case, you really have to, before the client put in the offer, you really have to look at their asset to see whether they have any buffer, and kind of provide the advice to your client. Hey, just want to let you know, in case the appraisal value come back, $50,000 less, you need to shell out a little bit more down payment, right? And give them the figures and all that stuff. Okay, so that's the second point. The appraisal value, even if you delay the appraisal report, it might still be lower than the purchase price. So that's what is different, right? And so that's all I want to tell you. But yes, the market is changing. It's all good. We will still have a lot of business. You just have to give a different advice to your client. So I hope that helped you, and I will see you next month in my next video. Okay, take care.